How can we use low-tech tools like film and high-tech tools like AI together without letting one erase the other?
My name is Piotr Wajda, and I am a lecturer at the School of Communication and Design, where I teach mostly things about cinema and culture.
When I look out of my window, I see a time machine. I see decades of urban development combined together, old shop houses, improvised electricity cables, motorbikes, small family altars here and there, and behind them, new glass towers and billboards. This view is shaped by the history of the city, by climate processes that each year bring more heat and flooding, by real estate markets that decide which buildings stay or go, and by digital platforms that constantly map and monetize the area. That way of looking at layers of time, power, and infrastructure in a very ordinary place was the starting point for the work I do in this project. In my research project, the Post-Digital Palimpsest Future Heritage and Digital Transformation of Ho Chi Minh City, we invited residents to take another perspective on the environment they know and photograph their everyday streets on analog film. To make things even more interesting, we created an online platform to develop AI-augmented versions of those scenes. Saigon is a coastal megacity highly exposed to climate change and sea level rise. The future we imagine here are relevant to many cities facing similar risks. The project is grounded in the vernacular cityscape of Saigon, particularly more local districts such as District 5. These everyday spaces, far from tourist gaze, are also where the pressures of redevelopment, speculation and climate risk are felt most directly. Local context also shapes how people imagine the future. For example, some participants use AI to visualize flooded streets, others imagine cleaner air and more trees. These hopes and fears are very specific to the experience of living in Ho Chi Minh City right now. Saigon at the same time is very local and very global. It sits at the intersection of colonial legacies, socialist planning and neoliberal development. Focusing on a bit more obscure parts of the city allows me to ask, how do communities remember and imagine their neighborhoods when change is so fast? If the post-digital palimpsest were a creature, I think it would be a concrete leviathan lying underneath the city. Its body is made of foundations, pipes, wires, rebar, and it moves very slowly. Each demolition, each new tower, each flooded street is just a small shift of its weight. When a participant takes a photo of something meaningless at first glance, like a crack in the pavement or a lost flip-flop, it feels extremely local and even intimate. But when we run that image later through AI and start to imagine possible futures, we are suddenly talking about great and complicated narratives, such as global climate models, real estate flows, and data infrastructures. I hope future generations see this project as a record of a crossroads. First, it captures Saigon at a time of uncertainty. Which buildings remain, how the city responds to flooding and heat, and whose memories count as heritage. Second, it shows how people felt when AI became a standard. I think the message would start very simply. We messed up. Not Vietnam or any single place, but we as humans globally. But the whisper would not stop there. I would also say, you are not outside of me. In other words, there is no clear line between humans and the environments they inhabit.